Hello coders, good morning. It is Friday and today we are going to be working again through the Stripe payment processor, and I've been thinking a little bit about the architecture that we're playing with, and I've probably got some changes that I want to do. I don't think it doesn't feel right. It doesn't really work, I don't think, for what we need. What I want to do though today is just get into the event side of Stripe and see if we can capture an event and see if we can put that in as a test. So then I've got an event that I can keep using and using and using. The thing is, with what I was doing yesterday, which was fine, it was great, but because I wasn't actually using a real Stripe event to run through the things that we were doing yesterday, I need to get back to the context that I'm trying to achieve here. So this is when an invoice has been created from Stripe. How do we make that decision as to whether it needs to be an upgrade, a downgrade, a new or renew, and all that sort of jazz? So first of all, let's go ahead and actually get the event. Bear with me a second whilst I press all the buttons. So I'm just running through all the tests at the minute. I mean, they seem like they're all happy. And what I did after the stream last night is I created in the constant file all of those errors and exceptions and stuff, all those errors that we were doing yesterday. So that's all done. That's all done. Now, what I'm going to do is see if we can set up the front end. So I'm going to go to howtocodewell.local, which I'll put over here. Is that going in view? Yeah. Let's bring that out. Okay, why is that taking its time? Are the containers running? I mean, they should be running, otherwise the test won't work. Docker ps-a. They seem to be okay. They've been up for about 25 hours. Yes, here we go. Okay, just took a wee bit of time. All right, so let's see if we can initialize a Stripe event. Now, what I think I need to do is log in. I'll do that down here. So let me just create a Stripe. It's a Stripe login. Let me just try and do that from here. That's my pairing code. Open the browser. Okay, bear with a second whilst I put in various bits and pieces. So I'm just going to go into BRB mode, but I'm just putting in some credentials. Because what I want to do is capture these events, right? I want to grab these events and I want to store an event in the database. So what I'm doing right now, here we go. There we go. So all done. Please note this key will expire in the next 90 days. Okay. And then we'll go over to the Stripe dashboard. So I'm doing all of this off stream, by the way, just in case anybody's wondering why it's in BRB mode. Let's view the test data. Okay, cool. Groovy, groovy, groovy. Let's do Stripe listen. To there. Get the webhooks running. Sweet. And then I'm going to see if we can run a test. Give me a sec whilst I do that now. Let's go to... Let's put that over there. There we go. Right. Okay, bear with a second. Let's go back to the code. I could have done that in talking mode, to be fair, but whatever. Okay, so I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I've got it all set up. I'm going to just kill the acceptance tests, because that's going to screw around. Let's do a make DB test rebuild. And then, come on, drop that database, import all those things. Lovely stuff. I guess what I need to do really is put in an event as a fixture. Good stuff. Okay, now I'm going to do the listen, and what I'm looking for is when I actually go and create an account. So let's do, what's today's date? It's the 6th, isn't it? Of the 4th, 21, and we'll do number 1. That's the username. Put that in as the email address at testing.howtocodewell.net. Put that in as the password. Register this. Hit checkout. There we go. All the 4s, all the 2s. Again, all the 4s, all the 2s. I made up postcode. Okay. So I'm looking at my terminal as I'm doing this. I'm seeing. Yes, here we go. Can you see all of these things coming through? These are all the intents that are coming. These are all the events that Stripe is sending based on what I've just done here. And then what we're going to do is hopefully see the arrows going in the other direction. And that's going to go off to our webhook. And what our webhook will do... Here we go. It's going to fail on a lot of them, but it's going to succeed on this one. Which I think is the one we need. There we go. Right. So in this case, fingers crossed, I think now what we've done is we've created our I believe what we've done. Hang on a minute. Let me sort this out before I start. It's DB. That's what I want. Is that what I want to do? No. Yes, I know that's not going to work. Right. Use how to code OD. Come on. Well, I think what I've done is I've captured that event. I just want to check that. Now, if we did, I can't remember what the table's called. Show tables for a second. I think we have, here we go, Stripe webhook. So if we did select all from this, there we go. So actually there's 3 that's been added. So what we could also do is this. Let's hang on a minute. No, I don't want to update it yet. There we go. That's a better look there. Not yet. Come on. Just. What I'm going to do is get into Bash. So we're going to go do here, and then what I would like is to do hang on. Oh, is it because I need to evaluate the shell, maybe? Come on, get me into the container, please. Thank you. Right. I need to do bin console, and I can't remember what the command is. It's the command that gives me the queue. Let's have a look at the queue. Queue report. Here we go. So bin console, all those things. Here we go. Right, so we got an invoice paid, an invoice payment succeeded, and an invoice created, a payment created counts. Wonderful. Good. So these are the events that have been stored in the database. So what I want to do is capture those and actually put them as a fixture. So that's what we'll do today. That goes into src data fixtures, and we should have there's a Stripe webhook status fixture. That's the status, so new, processed, invalid, and errored. But we want to create one, so we're just gonna copy that. So Stripe webhook event fixture. Now, how is it best for me to do this? Let's change the reference to be, so, okay, for each of the data as item, so we would create this. So I tell you what. Let's have a look at the table structure of this. So let's do describe. Oh, great. Thank you for that. Such a helpful command prompt. So describe Stripe web hook. Of course it doesn't exist. Why wouldn't it exist? Is there not a space in there? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we've got an ID, we've got a type, we've got a payload, and we've got an exception. We've got an updated date, creation date, status ID, and an event ID. So I kind of need to replicate this, right? So we would have type. Let's only go for the one for now. So we would have type. We would have the payload. We would have exception. We would have, we're not going to worry about updated or creation. We would have status. What else? Event ID. Okay. All right. Good stuff. Okay, so let's do a select. Well, I can read the code. I'll read the code. That's probably easiest. So what happens is Stripe sends us a webhook, an event in a webhook. So we go to controller. It's front end, is it? Hook controller. Stripe event handle request. Is that it? Is that what we're doing here? Save event. Create event, create from event. Here we go. There we go. Right, so we got the type, which is the type, the ID, which is the ID, and then we got a serialized payload. Okay, okay. Let me see then what is the type. So select type, because that's a varchar, right? Select type from Stripe webhook. Of course, these are the they are these. Moron. Okay, let's so the one I'm interested in is this one. Payment succeeded. No, it's this one. Invoice paid. That's the one I'm interested in at the minute. I'll do all of them, obviously, but let's invoice paid. Okay. So then let's see. Let's go to see if I was to. The payload is going to be an interesting one to capture. Let's do status though. So that would be a new status. So that would be this one. It'll be new. And this is done by what? This here again. See, why am I doing hook like that? That should be like that, shouldn't it? So the status is going to be that, and I think I've just called it strata lower internal name, and it's just new. So we'll grab that. Well, actually, what is that? It's just new, is it? Let's do that then. Okay, and then the event ID, let's pull that out. So let's grab, I mean, that's going to be huge. So let's do select event ID. And type. Gotcha. So the event ID now is this one. So let's grab that, paste that into there. Okay, so exception is like nothing at the moment. Payload is what we're interested in now. So this is going to be a bit of a mare to get, I think. So we're going to need to do, we're going to have to lock this out to be, hang on. Thank you. So select payload from Stripe webhook where type is equal to invoice dot paid. So let's scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. Right, it's all of that. Jesus. All right, it's all of that I need to capture. What's the... Oh, okay. Okay. How do I guess I just have to... Can I copy it? I mean, it's a serialized string, so I wonder if I can do that. Or do I go ahead and actually create an event? I don't know. If I was to bung that in like that, I don't know if this is going to work. I suppose what I could do is loop over this and then pull out the payload and then unserialize it and see if that unserializes. How are we doing it on the... How are we actually doing it on the event? Let's go to command. So it's looping through the events, getting the event, unpacking the event. Which is in the store. So get store. This is what we were doing the other day, wasn't it? Pay store, pay the store here. So when we unpack it is literally unserialized, and then we do toArray off of that. So I suppose what we could attempt to do is we could attempt to run this yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do event is equal to Stripe webhook event. No, webhook, just that, isn't it? We'll do event set payload is item payload. Event set event ID is event ID. The status is, oh yeah, the type. Let's do that. Set. Why is this not? Why is that not? Why is that returning void? Why is that returning void, and why is there a test that says that that's okay? Okay, let's change that to be this. Have I actually got a test for this though? Let's just, before I start hacking around with the code. Event entity Stripe webhook test. What's testing default? Setting the type, setting the event ID. I've got nothing that strings them together. That's why. All right, that's fine. All right, so get the event ID, get the type here, which is item type. Anything else? Oh yes, the status. The status, that is going to be interesting because what we need is status is equal to this, get reference, item. Actually, it should be just this, right? Item status. There we go. So my arm is very tender at the moment. I've just had the second COVID jab, so my arm is slowly becoming numb. Set type, set status. That's what I want. Status. No, S. There we go. Right, and then we'll add the reference to the Stripe webhook, and that's the event name. And I suppose we should do event ID. I guess it's going to be a tricky one. Event. The problem with all of this, of course, is that I'm going to need to tie this to the user, to a user. So I think I might have to hack around with with these things. Anyway, we'll do event get event ID, and we'll save the event. So what this should do is create an event. I'll drop the database, I'll recreate the database, run through this fixture, and we're gonna have to put in befores, aren't we? Otherwise this will just run, and I need the status to be ran first. I forget how you do that. There we go, get dependencies. So get dependencies of the event fixture. Here we go. So that needs to come down into here. So this is now Stripe. What is it? Web. Is it? There we go, that's the one. Okay, so it needs the Stripe webhook fixture first. And I think it also should need the customer as well. No, we'll leave it like that for the time being. So the idea is that I'm going to run this, I'm going to drop the database, do the DB rebuild. It's going to build this, save this to the database, and then I can run the command that loops through. And then hopefully we've got something that is repeatable. So, okay, so technically speaking, I should now be able to get rid of, well, I'll leave that. I should be able to get rid of that though, but I'll leave it down there. Let's come out of the database, and let's do a make DB test rebuild. And fingers crossed. So, okay, set event must be a type of an instance of a webhook. None is returned. Really? Must be, why? That doesn't even make sense. Set event ID. I am going to change the music because I can't, my brain can't consume this whilst soothing sounds. Right. Is it dubstep or is it a construction site? I don't know. Who knows? So this is odd, this error that I've got here. This value of Stripe webhook set event ID must be an instance of app entity Stripe webhook set. That doesn't even make sense. Oh, it's a return value. That's why it makes sense. It's the return value. Set event ID Stripe webhook. Stripe webhook. What? Null. No. Hang on. It's not returning anything, that's why. Okay. Right, let's try it again. Ow, my arm. They say that one might feel groggy after the second COVID vaccine. I'm feeling okay. But I might not be tomorrow. Oh right, I'm gonna have to set that. Otherwise, PHP stand will not be Blessed, pleased. Right, so that all went through okay, which should mean that we now, if we were to run this, it should mean that we have 1 now, because I've reset the database. Yeah, there we go. And also, yeah, that's looking good. So I'm going to play around now. I'm going to screw about with this command, because this is the entry point. So what we've got here is we unpack the payload, and what are we trying to do here? We create the Stripe customer if there isn't one already. I'm going to comment all of this out, I think, and I'm going to just get it to this point. Let's give that a go. Let's go to I haven't set my keyboard up to when you hold the key to just go through the whole thing. It doesn't do that. It's this one here, invoice paid. Okay, so let's give that a blast, shall we? There has been an error. Unserialized error. Brilliant. I thought that was going to be the case. That was what I was fearful for. So storing that, trying to unserialize that. Is it because I need that and that on either side? I've got a sneaking feeling. I was missing that. All right, I'm gonna have to keep doing this. Rebuilding the database and then running this command. No. Okay, let's see. Let's get into all right, PHP-A, get into the interactive shell. Let's do a n is equal to new std class n a is equal to foo, n b is equal to an array, and then we'll do x is equal to, I can't remember the spelling of this. Let's go to here and go into let me just Google it. Hang on, it's there we go. So no, we want to do the reverse, don't we? Gotcha. All right, let's get back to the command line. So x is equal to serialize of n. All right, and then we'll do a var dump of x. Okay, right, yeah, no, it doesn't have that. It doesn't start with, I thought it did for some reason. I thought it always started with brace, but it doesn't. Well, that's very annoying, isn't it? That's very annoying. bug of the day, I think. Bug of the day. My guessing is that the database has stored this in a format that just can't be recognized. Okay, n is equal to var dump so that's the serialized string. So we want to try this method of n. Syntax error. Unexpected error. Unexpected stripe t-string in PHP shellcode at line 1. Which kind of suggests it's this. I mean, line 1 could be any of this line, couldn't it? So maybe not. Okay, I wonder if someone's done this before. Oh. I'm just reading here, it suggests that you have to unserialize it. If you serialize an object in one page and then try and unserialize it into another page, it will only work if you include the class file on that page. Yeah. And I suppose because my command line doesn't have the PSR stuff set, is that Okay, it doesn't help that I've got two errors that are different. This error here is saying that stripe is unexpected, and then this error is saying that there has been an error Notice unserialize at offset 0. So let's have a look for this one. I think that's probably the wisest thing. So this suggests that it's corrupted by an incorrect byte count length. Okay. So I'm looking at this, by the way. For me, the quick fix was to using a base 64 encode, decode before serialize unserialize. Unserialize error at offset was due to invalid serialization data due to invalid length. So quick fix, what you should do is recalculate the length of the elements in the serialized array. Okay, so that's our serialized array. Your current serialized data, example without recalculation is what we were trying to do, but the output is this, which is the error that we're getting. And then this is the recalculation. So data preg replace. I have no idea what all this is doing, but I mean, it's some fancy regex with a strlen of match. All right, okay, preg replace this with this, passing in the data, and then we unserialize that. Okay, let's give that a blast, shall we? So recommendation, instead of using this kind of quick fix, I'll advise you to update the question. How are you serializing your data? How are you saving the error? You need to change submit data from the note to note the single quote. So we're using this person's using single quotes here. Is that the thing that we need to do? Let's have a look. We are using single quotes, so I mean, I guess I could try it with double quotes. I'm up for that. No, that's not even going to work because there's double quotes in here, so that's not going to work. Additional filter, you can also add a simple filter before you call the serialize, which is add slashes. If you have UTF output, how to detect the problem in the future, the error length. I see. Okay. A better way to save to the database is to use a base 64 encode and then a base 64 decode. Okay. Finally used your amazing find serialize error function and found lots of errors. Please take a look at my topic. I think what I'll do for ease is I will use this person's preg replace. I think that's probably a good starting point. Let's just see if this is the fix. So that's our thing. And then down here, I'm going to do payload is equal to this. What am I doing? This is item. Item and then payload in here. Payload. And then we'll do payload in there, like so. All right, let's give that a blast and see if that solves the issue here. So I'm gonna have to put it back into the database. And then on this one here, once that's done, oh no, here we are. The E modifier is no longer supported using preg replace callback instead. Oh, okay. The E modifier, which would be this one here. Okay, do we have... Maybe I should base encode and base decode, but that would mean having to change. This is doing it with quick fix. Recalculating the length of the elements in the serialized array, but don't use preg replace. It's deprecated, as I've just discovered. New version now, not just wrong length, but also fixed line breaks and count the correct numbers. Okay. Let's try that. Let's try that. That might be the thing that we're looking for. So that's item. Whoops. Payload, and that goes into there. Right, let's give that a blast. So again, we'll do that. That looks like it's gone through. Okay, so now we'll see if we can get this to work. Okay, array keys expects parameter 1 to be an array, but null has been given. Okay, let's discover what that is. So that is, there's no line on this. There's no line. Brilliant. It's an exception though. Somewhere. My guess is it's... I'm gonna have to put in some logging or something, aren't I? Is this in a try? It is in a try-catch. So there has been an error. So there has been an error. Okay, gotcha. So we'll do IO exception get file and IO exception get line. All right, let's give that a go. Okay, it is on Stripe object. Oh, great. Oh, man. So it looks like that. It looks like that serialized object is invalid for some reason. That's annoying. I don't really know how to get around this. So we're capturing... We're capturing the... I captured it and put it in a database. I'm thinking maybe we... I don't know how to get around that. We captured it. We ran a payment which captured it, and then after we captured it, well, it's stored into the database, so we grabbed that as a string, as a serialized string, and then we put that as a hard-coded string in our fixtures. And we are now saving it in as a payload, which is apparently working. And then the error now is on the return. So when we're picking that up, we're looping through the event, and we're unpacking the payload. and it would be at this point here where it's trying to do toArray. There has been an error warning array keys expects parameter 1 to be null given. On line 445 within the Stripe object. Okay. Line 445, right? Here. Yeah, it's in the toArray as I thought. Array keys expects parameter 1 to be an array. So this values. Hang on a minute. I'm wondering if we need to do something different, like but isn't there's a toString. What other things have we got here? Empty values, get last, set last is deleted. No. Deep copy to JSON to array. Serialize parameters, param values. Okay, maybe we need to do something. Serialize parameters. A recursive mapping attribute for this object. Okay. Refresh from. Construct from. Keys count. I'm wondering if there's something in here that I need to do before I do the toString. Convert to Stripe object. So I'm like wondering whether there's something I need to do other than just unserialize and then do a toArray. Although it works. Yeah, the only difference is that I've manually stored this into the database, which is what I would do anyway, and this has never thrown this error. Debug offset. This unfortunately needs to be public to be used in the util. Okay. Refresh from. Refreshes the object using the provider values. Mass assign attributes to the model. Serialize parameters. A recursive mapping of attributes to values of their objects, including a proper value for deleted stuff. Could I just do in unpack here? So payload is hang on. Construct from empty out get other. No. Isn't there a Stripe? Let's connect. No. Let me do some more Googling. Okay, I was wondering if there was some kind of convention or otherwise best practice for storing Stripe payment data in a database. There is a real lack of information online, and since I'm doing it on my own, I wanted to get some feedback from others. Okay. Oh, okay. So it's just saying everything that is returned from the API is okay for you to store. That's not really what I wanted, though. Don't know. Give me a minute. That doesn't help. Okay, hang on, let's go back to the original error here. So the error is the array keys expects parameter 1 to be an array. Okay, so there's obviously something wrong when I've unserialized this. It's obviously not that's a test. It's obviously not stored properly, which is weird because it's stored in exactly the same way, apart from the preg replace and everything. Maybe that's the thing that's causing it pain. Is there another way I can deal with this? I could try the base 64 encoding. Yeah, I could try that. This is what this person is saying, right? Base. Yeah, a better way to save to the database is to do a base 64 encode, save to the database, and then do an unserialize of base 64 decode. I'm going to give that a blast and just see, because then I'm not hacking about with like all of this jazz. So let's, I guess first up I should probably run a new one and do it through the webhook. So let's do that from the webhook controller. So that would be in hook controller, and it would be in handle request, and that would go to save event. Save event gets the ID, the status, create from event. Here we go. This is what I need, and then we do a serialize. So down here, I'm gonna do unless what I need to do is serialize the whole thing rather than the data. let's try this one first, all right? And then we can do that as a secondary thing. So payload is event data, and we're going to serialize that now into here. Fine. So that's now stored. And then in the other direction, so when we unpack, where we set the payload, where we do the unserialize at this level, we need to do the base 64 decode. So payload is equal to unserialized base 64 payload. Okay, it's nullable. So what I think I'm going to do is just do a if event get payload, if isn't empty, then we'll do that. Like that. Setting the payload is an array. Okay, let's give that a blast now. Okay, so what I need to do now is go back to the fixtures, which is that one. I'm going to put that down as test. And we're going to do, just so I can pull it out, we'll rebuild the database, and then I'll run through a Stripe checkout process. Actually, no, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, right, so then let's go through our checkout process again. So let's go join now. And let's have that open. So 0, 6, 0, 2, 5, 0, 2, 1, 2 at testing.howtocodewell.net. Paste that in. Hit checkout. All the 4s, all the 2s in the right order, obviously. 2, 4, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2. Yep. Put that in, hit subscribe, and then we should hopefully see in our console log, there we go, a bunch of stuff being fired off. And then we need to just give it a bit of time. I'm just going to go back to our success page, and we should hopefully see one coming through as a 200 OK. Come on. anything. There we go. All right, so we wait on here. Let me just check DB. Well, from here I can do queue report, and let's see if we've got what have we got. We've got the test, that's what we've just put in. We've also got invoice paid as well. That's what we've just done from Stripe. So let's just compare the data and see if we have actually base encoded this one. So let's move that window over to that direction. Let's bring that down. And let's do a, oh, I need to, rats. I need to, I need to log into the database, don't I? Okay, so use the database, how to code, DE, and then select payload from Stripe webhook where type is equal to invoice.paid. Okay, and what have we got here? Scroll. Ah, that's base encoded. There, yeah. There we go. So that's looking all good, kind of encoded there. Good. Okay. Right. So we've now base encoded it. So I think what I need to do then is grab the string. If I can get hold of it all. There we go. Copy that, paste that into here as a base encoded string. There's so much of it, man. Come on, get rid of it all. All the stuff. It can all go. Let's just. Wow, that's huge. Tell you what, a quicker way is just to drop that whole line and rewrite it. So this is now payload, and the payload is now that. Okay. Fine. All right. So we don't worry about the preg replace stuff. It is just putting in a string. That's all it's doing. So this is now item payload. Okay, so I think first of all what I should do is run the commands first, pick that up, because then I'll get let's get out of the database. Then I'll get an actual too many windows open. What am I trying to say? I'll then get a replication of what I'm trying to look for. So if we did, if we went into the actual container, thank you, and we went into this one, working on blah 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 blah. So that's the thing that I want to find. That's the thing I want to discover. And also, I tell you what, we'll go one step further than that actually. We'll go to processor command because I want to make sure that this still works. Let's do... Can we do this? Did I create a get store? Did I do a get payload or something? Yes, I did. Thank you. So let's do payload is equal to you. Let's do dump of payload. So hopefully now we'll also get some output. There we go. Right. Good, good, good. That looks good to me. That is our unserialized, decoded Stripe object from the real Stripe event that we just fired. So what I'm going to do now is rebuild the database, and I'm going to rebuild the database with this fixture that we've just hacked up, which is this one, passing in all of this jazz. So yeah, let's do a DB rebuild, make DB rebuild. That went through okay, and then what we'll do is we'll run this. Oh, hang on, wait, no. I need to change that back to paid. There we go. All right, let's do that again. I need to do that as paid. And then, right, and then we run this, and hopefully we get exactly the same thing back, or something that looks like this at least. Let's do it. Fingers crossed. Okay, so we got that back, but there has been an error. Cannot find user from payload. Okay, fine. That's actually not so bad. I've rebuilt the database so the user doesn't exist anymore, but we're getting it back. Right, so on here, do we get the customer? I'm sure we do. Object, ID, invoice, yada, yada. Customer. Okay, cool. So I need to tie that to a customer. So we're going to go back to again data fixtures, and we'll put in our user fixtures. We will change one of these fixtures to be that customer that we just created. So yeah, let's copy that one for a minute. Whoops. It's from here, isn't it? Right, let's just grab that for a sec and then do that is the Stripe customer. This we need to change up. We'll have to do this at the bottom, I think. Yeah, let's do that at the bottom. Scroll. There we go. So the ID of this is 8, so this will become 9. And we also need to pass in the email address as well. So the email address of the thing that we just created was... Do we not get that back? I'm sure we do. Here we go. So I need to create a fixture that essentially represents that customer that I've just created. So we'll do that. That is the username, and that is the password that we just put in. We went from monthly, price 20, that's fine. That's okay. We'll do 04 and 05. And we'll, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We'll knock it back. So that's 03 and that's 04. Okay, so now let's run this again. Oh, I need to rebuild the DB. And then I need to run this command again. There we go. No errors this time, and we've got the dump of the thing back, which is really good. That's good. I'm happy. I'm happy. So now we can continue down our journey because we now have our captured event, our new user, and we can plug in all the things that we were doing yesterday into here. So essentially what I need to do is this will become a renewal because the customer already has this subscription, and therefore it will become a renew, and they've just paid, so it will be, yeah, it will be a renewal. And then, yeah, and then later I can create some events that mimic things like, you know, payment failed and all of that jazz, and put the accounts into various different states. That's cool. I'm glad I can do that now. So that was the error, cannot find user from payload. And that's because you can't find the user off of the customer email. That's what we were looking for. Stripe ID, handle Stripe customer. So that's the next thing we need to play with, is whether or not we should create the Stripe customer or not. At the moment, we've added the customer to this, right, to the fixture. So the Stripe, the user fixture, we've added the Stripe customer, which is this here. So I could set that to null, but it's a renewal, so that won't work. Okay, so let's do, let's put in some comments up here. Oops. Subscription renewal, okay. And if, let's see if I can log in with this user. So if we go to, if we logged in, or I could just hit that big pink button. Interesting. So for some reason it hasn't set the account type. If we go to billing, there's no billing. So it looks like this hasn't actually been set up correctly for some reason. Stripe customer ID, profile, contact name, subscription. Order status fixture. Okay, maybe it's this that's commented out. If is set subscription, do we have subscription? Yes. Alright, what does that do? Create subscription. Creates a subscription plan based on the name. Do we have the subscription plan name? There must be a reason why that's commented out, right? Yeah, we do have that. Okay, fine. Create subscription, create the order summary, set it to active, set the customer, create a subscription order item, set the dates, get the references, set the prices, persist, add the items. Why has that not? That doesn't seem right to me. Why was that commented out? Let's rebuild the database again. Aha. Integrity constraint violation. Column status ID cannot be null on the order summary. So my guess is that the order summary, we don't have a status. We have an active, but we don't have a status. So do we do order summary set status? Yes, we do. So what are the statuses of the order summary? Order status fixture are paid, cancelled, or refunded. Okay. So order status. I think I need to do on subscription. And I think I need to supply order status here. Here we go. There is internal name straight lower. The internal name of let's do paid is just paid. Is internal name paid, which would be paid. Gotcha. Okay, so let's go to user fixtures again, and it should be this and then paid. Okay, cool. So let's do order status is equal to this get reference data. I've forgotten what it is. Isn't it order status? I think that's what I called it. We'll find out in a minute. But is this going to fail in other places because there might be other subscriptions that don't have Yeah. All right, let me just put that back into there. So we've got that in there, and then we've got. I'm gonna have to. This is getting quite unwieldy. This set of fixtures here for the user. I'm thinking of maybe splitting them out into splitting it out, making it a little bit more easier to use, because it's a massive array, and then it's a lot of logic to set a user up on the system, and it's growing. It's growing. I think I may have caught them all. I don't know. No, I haven't. What's this? Description cannot be null of what? Oh, it's an order. Okay, right, fine. I gotcha. I think I know what this is crying about. So create subscription is here. So when we do the order item, what we need is to set a description, and the description is it could be anything, but let's do that. Yeah. Let's do that again. Yay. Okay, let's now log back in with this guy. And I can't remember for the life of me what the username and password is, so that would be again in the user fixtures, so that would be this one, right? It is monthly now. Thank you. So if we go to billing, and it knows that we are monthly because we can now, it knows that we have a monthly account. So we go to billing, which we're still waiting for. Come on. There we go. So we got the course subscription coming in. Order placed on the 7th of the 5th. It is the 7th. I thought it was the 6th. That's what happens when you're on holiday. Yeah, I need to change that. That's not strictly true, is it? Because the event that I've got is for a renewal of this month, so that isn't correct. This should go back to I reckon we need to have order placed in there. Let me just see where let's just go back into here. So much stuff. Do we have, I'm sure we've got order summary set paid date. Gotcha. Yeah, so I think we need to have something there that will set this back by a month, and I think what I'll do is in the description is course subscription with the date to date from going on there. What happens if I view it? Lovely. I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay, yeah, so there's a few things I need to do. The paid date is one. Right, I'm gonna dash, and then I'll come back after lunch, I think. How's it going? Hey, sorry for missing the chat. Go Ninik and is that Indrael? Thank you for joining, everyone. Sorry, I've just been sort of focused on getting this all wired up. Once we get this done, so once we actually have this coming back with a proper date, we can then use the event. And where I would like this to go is that we get another order that's created with the next date. So this would be almost like the renewal type thing. Cool. I will be back in I guess a couple of hours. Thank you ever so much, everybody, for watching and being a part of the struggle. Thank you ever so much. See you again soon.